This is the business where if you're going to make money, you have to run.
So now a driver could race hard without worrying about hurting himself.
And with the tube chassis trucks now, you get 26 inches of travel in the front, the new axle housings from ZF, 30 inches of travel in the back. Just the abuse from a driver's standpoint is so different from the old days to the new days because of what the truck takes and what the driver himself takes. I mean, when I started out, I did the first car crush, and the guy that was at the fair with me that did the exhibition car crush in front of me actually rolled the truck over, and yeah, that'll pretty much freak a guy out when you're sitting in there and the guy in front of you rolls over and you got your teacher that's another Bigfoot driver standing on the tire going, you know, don't do that, but do everything else he did. So that was kind of a shocker there.
And with the new truck, well, we come up a set of cars, and we're jumping 100 feet. Boom, it's landing. And it's like, wow, this is really different. You know, this is far and away above, so much better than what we had.
Our biggest challenge as far as Bigfoot goes is probably the name and the name that we carry, because Bob is the guy that started all of this, and the family has done a lot as far as upkeep and keeping this company going for as many years as it's going.
So we went out and we told our drivers, hey dude, just sandbag, just win by a little bit. Don't show them what it can do. And we won every race, basically. Except one day, he got on the line, he gave it the gas, it coughed. So he's sitting back to the line, the motor sputtering. Well, the other guy's literally halfway down the track, and finally the engine grabbed. And being a driver and, you know, so competitive, he just nailed it. Well, he shot past that guy like he was sitting still.
You get to an event, you always have a target painted on you, I guess is the easiest way to put it. I mean, you're Bigfoot, everybody's gunning for you, so there's always that pressure. I mean, the competition level nowadays has went to a new level. You know, it used to be cars and maybe a minivan or a pickup truck that we jump over. Now it's school buses and motorcycle freestyle ramps that we're backsiding, and it's just changed the whole industry and what people actually come to see at an event or at a race.
Without good components, we're not going to be where we are. You know, we're the leader in the industry right now, and our race drivers, they're winners. We have all kinds of titles, and the only way you win a title is you have to be there every race. You have to be there at the end.
I know we spend more money on preventative maintenance than anybody else out there in our fields, for sure.
Yeah, like I say, you're out there racing, and a lot of these are very, they're tight courses and buildings. But you have a Chicago-style round-and-around race where you're on the gas and you're on the brakes. You're on the gas and on the brakes. This is the only axle right there in the monster truck world that actually runs a wet disc brake, meaning we have a brake on each end. Most trucks take the easy route out, and they put a brake on the drive shaft, front and rear. Well, you know, that's okay as long as you don't break an axle or any one of 47 components out to that point, because if you break it, you lost your braking action. And they're never as good as having one of these trucks can land. If one tire's on the ground, you have braking action. You hit that tire hits, feels resistant, settles the truck down. You know, you're not freewheeling up here till the other tire gets down, then okay, now you can have brakes. We have brakes instantly. Any tire hits the ground, you're starting to slow down. And there's no brake fade. The other systems, they'll burn the rotor red hot. Now, it's not a good practice because your fuel systems sit up here. You have a leak in the fuel system, and it drifts down that red hot rotor. That's not good. Or your engine's on top and in the back, and you have any kind of a leak back there. And actually, I've actually seen them catch on fire, the brakes, the driveline brakes. Where in the toughest, hottest weather, we can run this thing repeatedly around the track, run the races, and you put your hand on the hub. Now your hand, you know, you get somebody about 110 degrees or something, your hand don't want to be in that hub. And they're warm, but they're not hot. So it means that we are not taxing this brake system on this truck. It really helps in our ability to take the corners a lot faster, knowing that every time you touch the brake, you're gonna have your brake. Matter of fact, you had to teach a driver not to jam the brakes too hard because he'll nose that thing up. You can only race indoors as fast as you can stop, because there's a wall there. So you want to beat this guy, and you want to go as fast as you can, but you know what? you got to pay the piper at the end. And I've seen these drivers get the brakes and carry the back wheels this far off the ground, all the way up to the wall, and set them back down.